And welcome back to Live at Urban Wild. Today is Sunday, March 26, 2023. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful week. Whoever is still celebrating their weekend, enjoy, or your Sabbath, enjoy that too. We're here back at our daily feeding. Of course, we don't film on Saturday. Out of respect for the Sabbath, since we're in Israel. These are the cats of the wall. Just checking up on everyone, showing everyone and our sponsors, our supporters, what's going on. Hello. So all the different stations set up in the wall so they can eat peacefully without competition. There's some unfinished food here and some untouched piles here. They will come around, they will get it. That's the cat that was injured, that's healing. Other tuxedo cats that are growing up. Some of them are new constituents. We have the feeding spots around this wall here. I want to emphasize and reiterate and remind anyone who follows us or who started following us now that none of these cats are native to this park. Okay, this park is a no man's land, a buffer zone between buildings. No one really knows what it is or what it's for, but by the reality of its use, it's a buffer zone. It's usually neglected. We've been cleaning it up. And these cats don't live here. Before we come out, there's no cats out here. Once we start feeding and putting out the food, the cats come from all directions. North, south, east, west, up, down, left, right, any direction you want. They come from the trees, from the lower levels, meaning from down there, and from every direction around. So the reason why we put the food around the perimeter is to welcome those that are coming from that direction. Then we have these buffets, as we call them, in the middle, where they integrate, they mingle, and they learn how to get along. That's the goal. That's what's been working for the last 6 to 9 months, or whatever the period of time we've been doing this. Also put out here on the wall for the same purpose. These cats that come from all the different directions. Hello. Good morning. Boker tov. שבוע טוב גם. מה שלומך? There's food right over there, go eat. Anyways, I often talk about the issues of the day, the things that are on my mind, the things that people ask me. I respond to questions. There's so much going on that it really makes a difference what I start to talk about, to take these videos into a certain direction. At the moment, I just want to focus on the cats. So I'm just showing here that among the different populations, there's this population of tuxedo cats, these black and white cats. It's very hard to tell the difference between them, especially when they're not together, but you see there's one there, 2, 3. So those 3 have been growing here since they were born. This is one of the injured cats on his back, so I don't know what it's from, and it's only speculation. But these cats, as they grow, their patterns change also. It's really hard to keep track of them. They're also very similar, obviously, if they're from the same family, and even if they're not. So it's really hard to keep track. We guesstimate, based on calculations, on a rotating basis on any given week at least, because you can't say on any day, but on any given week, there's these 50 different cats that come on a rotating basis depending on the time, the hour, and all that. And one way or another, we are fostering here about 50 different cats on a rotating basis, thanks to support of people that care locally here and around the world. We're able to do this for as little as 50 cents a day. So it comes out to that if we're feeding the 50 cats, that would be $25 a day to feed 50 cats. But with the sponsorship of a cat for as little as 50 cents a day or $15 a month, when we get to the scale of 50, we're not asking any one person to support anything actually, but we're just explaining to people that it's the group collective. It's just that $15 a month does very little, and the $15 a month alone wouldn't be enough to take care of a cat. Definitely not to provide for it. A place to live. That's a mangy cat that I haven't seen in a while. Wondering if it's okay. Can't even tell if it's fixed or not. There's a signal here in Israel that when it's done by the city vet, they clip usually the left ear, so you can tell that it was fixed. Besides the fact that I can't see from this distance that cat, there's also people who do it privately and they don't clip the ear necessarily. Makes it hard to keep track. You know, back to what I was saying, it's the collective effort of people coming together. Each of those 50 cents together, 50 cents on its own isn't worth much. 50 cents on its own can't get much. I don't know if you can get anything anymore. But 50 cents plus another 50 cents, as I was taught in 3rd grade, a little and little makes a full pot. So it's the combined efforts is the point here. All of what we're talking about here is the combined efforts. The combined efforts turn those 50 cents into something where 50 cats can be supported and taken care of. A human being, and possibly a partner, depending on how they do their thing, can be supported. A person who might not have a way to fit into society, one way or another, might have a way through this. And it solves so many different problems at the same time. And of course that person who needs to survive, the one who is feeding these cats on that amount of money, needs to survive. So of course that provides for them whatever they need to do to survive. If they learn the practices that we teach, they can also end up feeding other humans with that same money. So the 50 cents a day, as it gets applied efficiently and effectively to the people who need it for the people who need it, to the mouths who need it for the mouths who need it, create solutions that are so exponentially rewarding that it's really hard to turn back to any other system. Here's Aphrodite, one of our younger constituents. Anyone following knows a little bit about her story. We'll be focusing more on her after. So the 50 cats, getting up to a certain scale, we picked 50 for a reason. Getting up to 50 cats allows for a person to rent a unit. Now that makes it that public feeding can become a shelter situation, which is what we're working towards. And then that shelter situation changes the dynamics completely and totally. And then of course it just grows from there, the goodness that it can give off. But when we're in intentional communities where people don't want to be, when we're in unintentional communities or situations where people don't want to be where they are but they're being forced to do that to survive, a type of imprisonment, and then work hours that they can't live any other life with, for wages that they can't survive with, to live in a place they don't want to live, next to people they don't know, is not extremely efficient. In fact, it's extremely deficient, causing everyone to be in this angst. When I say everyone, I know it's global generalizations. I don't mean global, but I'm talking about the vast majority of people, because very few people are in control that aren't part of the vast majority. So obviously it's not everyone, and there's always exceptions to everything, and there's partial exceptions to everything. But we're showing here, we're proving here on a daily basis that a person can survive through public service. A person can thrive through doing that public service properly and efficiently to a public that wants their service. In other words, you can't impose leadership. That's not leadership. I mean, you can try, but it won't be as effective as leadership that is by choice on a certain level. The willingness is the difference between fighting the authority and learning from the authority. The difference between being a spy and being a tourist when you're visiting a place or looking at something. Are you looking for the good or for the bad? Are you looking for a reason to fight the system or to be part of the system? And I'm just rambling. Seems like I'm just rambling, but what I'm saying is in context with all the other stuff that we talk about, that we write, that we share, that we post. Boker Tov, Shavua Tov. There's Limpy up there. He needs some attention. He or she. So we're gonna film a little bit more just to show the array of cats. Then I have to go off camera to do the stuff that I do off camera, which is give attention to the cats and redistribute the food. This is Aphrodite, our little constituent here. This cat can be adopted, this cat can be fostered. And all of them can. It's Fuzzy, also an extremely adorable cat. If you want to sponsor any of these cats, if you want any more information, if you want to follow them specifically, we have separate feeds that we're going to start soon that show the progress of different cats through our photo log and our video log. Of course, when I do these very general sessions, it's hard to isolate one cat, although I am right now by focusing on this little kitten here, Aphrodite. There's Dingo, also one of our mascots. There he is. So we're wishing everyone a wonderful week. Like I said, weekend, rest of your Sabbath, whatever you're doing, preparation for Passover if you're preparing, or preparation for the redemption for freedom if that's what you're doing. It is well that you have come. Infinite love and gratitude.